Today I would like to share my testimony on how Jesus has healed me from PCOS, which is like PCOS is polycystic ovary syndrome. So all my life I've had super terrible, irregular, horrible menstrual cycles. Along with PCOS, you can't do certain things, you can't eat certain things, you look certain ways. So through my life, I've just had this, and as I've grown up, when you grow up and you're a woman, you have to go to the OBGYN, so you get all checked out. And while I went back home and I did a bunch of doctor's appointments, and she was one of them. Oddly enough, she was the lady who delivered me, and now she's my obstetrician. She felt something and she was really concerned, so she sent me to get some x-rays done, and through them I found that I had PCOS, which was like a growth in my ovaries. And it's all because of like insulin levels. Each person is different, but mine was from insulin levels and things like that. So that caused me to be lethargic. That coupled with having anemia was not like good for me. I wasn't in the best health completely. So after they had diagnosed me with all of this, they had taken blood samples to be sure, and then it came out positive. Yes, I had that. They had put me on a bunch of medications, and for 3 months I had to take them, and all 3 months it was horrible. And I bled for 3 months straight. So all my life I've very much resonated with the woman with the issue of blood. She had it for 12 years and I've had it for 16 years. Since grade 7 I've not had a regular period. I'm 26 now. And I remember one day I was like, okay, well, the medication is not working. So after the 3 months were done, I followed doctor's orders. I took it every twice a day for 3 months straight. I couldn't walk more than 15 minutes. I remember fainting a couple times in Walmart and having to have a friend drive 40 minutes to come and help me because I couldn't move on my own. So I was over it. I was like, okay, what do people eat when they have this thing? So I followed what people ate, but nothing was changing. So I was all right. Everyone said that eating coupled with a bunch of multivitamins and different vitamins and different medications help them. So I was like, okay, let's research what medications work and what herbs and supplements work. So I ate what they ate, and I took all of the supplements that they suggested, all the vitamins, something called minoxidil, which is supposed to help your insulin levels, which I knew was the root cause. So I was like, okay, this must be able to help. Of course, I had the false hope where it stopped my period one day, and I was like, oh, it works. But then I didn't have it for another 2 months, and then I had it for another month straight. So I was like, enough is enough. And I had to I remember the day I was at home, and we have a gym in my apartment building, and I was downstairs on the treadmill. I was watching The Chosen, which is like a great TV show for any Christians or for anyone. I recommend that show too. And the scene with the woman with the issue of blood came up, of course, where Jesus was on the way to the man's house to help his daughter, but she touched the hem of his robe, the prayer beads at the end of his robe, and she was instantly healed. And I remember sobbing, just in the gym on the treadmill, just running and just sobbing for my life, like, oh God, you've done it for her, why can't you do it for me? Do it for me. And I was just crying and just like praying intensely, and I'm like, God, I know you can heal me. What do I have to do for you to heal me? And I heard him say so loudly, how can you rely on these things but not on me to heal you? You need to rely on me to heal you. You cannot rely on all of these supplements and all of these things that you're trying to do to heal yourself. And so I was like, okay, God, and immediately I stopped taking it. I remember one day I was really frustrated. I'm like, God, it's been like a month and you've done nothing. I'm gonna try. Just let me try, just this once. And I remember having that conversation with him because, you know, we tend to think we can take things into our own hands a lot. So I was like, God, I can do this. Just once. And God and I had that conversation a few times, and I only took it once. And then after I took it, I was like, you know what? It did not feel good to disobey. So let me just be obedient. And another month went by, and then early in June, I got my first period in like 2 months. I was like, okay, cool. This feels horrible. It felt like, and the weirdest thing was I was in so much pain, but I was like, this reminds me of the very first time that I had my period. And I was like, that's actually so crazy. It feels exactly how much pain I was in. It felt horrible. I was moody, I was cranky, I was in too much pain to move for 2 days. um and then I had a regular cycle. I was like, no way, God, no way, you healed me. I didn't want any other confirmation besides that. I had a regular 4 to 5 days straight, and that was it. A normal period cycle, and I was so thankful for that. And I was like, okay, God, I don't need a confirmation. I don't need to see another period cycle to know that you healed me. And I was so thankful and so grateful. And for days you couldn't talk to me. I was running up and down the streets. I called everybody to let them know that God healed me from having PCOS. And I haven't had a symptom ever since. I would usually have, like, I couldn't stand up for an hour without my feet being huge from swelling. And that was also an insulin problem. And nothing would help me for months, but nothing but the blood of Jesus helps you. So yeah, after 16 years of having these issues, the Lord has healed me, and it's all because I just surrendered it all to him and just gave it all to him and had faith in him. My faith in him had made me well.